Today we will be giving random anime characters different dojutsus in the Naruto verse and seeing how they do, whether they solo their entire series or whether they just get through most of their major enemies. Let's get right into it. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sundays, the show where we talk about anime on Sundays. Today we got your boy Shonen Showdown in the building.
Thanks for having me.
And we're going to do a spin the wheel, pretty much mostly main characters here. So after we give these characters a different type of Sharingan, we're going to see how far they would get in the verse, whether it just be battling some of their major opponents or actually soloing everyone in their series. All right, let's get right into it, Rob. Let's spin this wheel.
All right, let's see what we get first.
Sheesh.
Wow. You got Saber. Yup.
Okay, so Saber, I mean, obviously we're probably talking about Arthur Saber.
Yeah, it's gonna be King Arthur.
Now we gotta see what Sharingan she'd get.
Mangekyo Sharingan
Okay.
Madara.
Ooh, Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan.
Yeah.
All right, so now we know solo the verse is a pretty strong term. We know that would mean for the most part she'd pretty much just have to be able to defeat all the different servants in her verse. I mean, I'm gonna say for this battle, I don't know if I'm gonna include every servant of all time because I don't know if that is technically all. I mean, it's technically all the same verse, but I feel like it gets a little tricky with Fate's Day because there's so many different series.
Right. Well, you would have to pick like if you're gonna do Stay Night or Zero.
So I'm gonna go with Stay Night because I just feel like that's the one that's most popularly known. You know, it's kind of the best introduction to the Fate's Day series. So would Saber be able to solo the other servants, including like Hercules, Gilgamesh, and the different assassins of her verse with Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan?
See, I remember Berserker was really tough, but I do think having Madara's Mangekyo Sharingan would definitely help with that because now you're giving Saber access to, you know, Susanoo on top of, and remember, Madara has a perfect Susanoo. So on top of, you know, the defenses with Avalon, on top of like having just ridiculous abilities, I don't think she would be struggling with Berserker at all. But I am worried about the likes of Gilgamesh, right? I think Gilgamesh is going to be an issue.
Well, I think now that she has a Madara Mangekyo, not only are we saying, okay, perfect Susanoo, you know, obviously Amaterasu already comes with it, and then you kind of do have to be worried about Genjutsu. Maybe in this instance, you can give a cop-out because these characters may not have chakra, they have magic in this sense. I mean, she is using the same power source, so I could see an argument how you're connecting her Genjutsu-type abilities to that same situation. But my biggest thing is, as a swordsman, you know, Saber with a Sharingan in general is just super dangerous, right?
Right.
Once like what becomes like really the hardest part about her fighting style, just in terms of simple dodging and countering, is now like literally no brainer. So can I see her literally kind of, maybe not easily, but definitely having a better time dealing with Gilgamesh's, you know, noble fanaticism, all his weapons being thrown at her? I definitely do. And then like you said, with Avalon, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I want to say she could probably defeat Gilgamesh.
I mean, it would be nice, but I don't think she's soloing.
The verse,
yeah,
right?
I don't think she's soloing. Well, it depends on which style, right? Are we talking Madara versus the Shinobi Alliance style, where it's her versus everybody all at once, or is it like more of a gauntlet? Because that does depend, you know, that does matter when you talk about soloing verses. So normally when I talk about soloing the verses, I'm thinking the whole verse is jumping you all at once. Can you pack them up like Madara versus the Shinobi Alliance? In this instance, I don't think, you know, the power boost that we're giving Saber here is enough for the entire verse.
No, I can agree. How far do we think that she would go, do you think? Do you think she would defeat most of the servants? Do you think she would defeat only a couple?
I believe Berserker, Assassin, she can get through. Lancer. I just think Gilgamesh is going to be a huge issue. Caster, it's going to be a huge issue. And these are, I'm naming their servant types, but, you know, this is specifically for Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works characters. So I think she could get through maybe like a couple of them, but not everybody all at once. So it's going to be nah.
Right. But yeah, no, I agree. I feel like Saber probably couldn't solo all the servants with just Madara's Mangekyo, but I do think she could get through at least maybe like 3 or 4 of them pretty easily. All right, cool. Moving on. Let's go to some others.
Okay. Baki. Yes, sir.
Oh man. All right.
Look.
I feel like Baki already got the Sharingan in this verse.
Just to switch it up, I think the Byakugan definitely fits the you know, the Baki verse more. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's literally just cutting off your chakra points and shutting it down and making you weaker, right? And Baki being able to see through his opponent's weak points would be, I mean, come on. Like, that's perfect for the Baki verse. I think that would definitely help him outside of somebody like Yujiro, right? Because Yujiro is somebody where, I mean, he really does not have a weak point. But all the other characters, for the most part, give Baki a Byakugan. Yeah, he's comfortable.
All right, Rob, so you're saying with the Byakugan, you don't think Baki can defeat Yujiro?
No, well, I think the Byakugan is perfect for shutting down, you know, chakra points, finding weak points and certain things of that nature. I just think Yujiro doesn't really even have a weak point for real. But
I don't know, man. I think what we saw in that last series, like, Baki was probably as close as it gets. Obviously, Yujiro was still kind of more just figuring him out, kind of still playing with him a little bit. But he did earn his respect in some sense to, like, at least get serious, I feel like. And I mean, Baki's already martial arts style, as it is what most of the hominids is. Once he sees your fighting technique, it's already kind of clipped. Now with chakra points being able to shut down, and we know that chakra points is a little bit more than just specific to like your actual chakra. It's literally physically how you're able to fight. That's why Rock Lee was having such a hard time against Neji, even though he had no ninjutsu or genjutsu. So I feel like if you give Baki the Byakugan, I feel like, you know, he definitely could have a really good chance of defeating Yujiro. And I feel like that advantage is really all he needs to catch him off guard and, you know, take him down. And then once you take down Yujiro, that's your verse. That's the strongest in the series.
Like I said, I'm not worried about anybody else, but I could get behind that. I can get behind that.
All right, let's move on to the next. Okay, boom. Okay, Natsu.
Okay.
Interesting. Let's see what he would do with a different dojutsu. Ooh, Sasuke's Mangekyo.
Wow.
I think it gets real dangerous here because mainly we know obviously with Sasuke's Mangekyo, the sky's the limit sometimes, especially his handle on the Amaterasu. Sasuke's Mangekyo is the control Natsu would have over Amaterasu, right? I mean, now we're talking about a never-ending flame.
Right.
Mind you, I felt like you could comfortably say Natsu was already top 5 pretty much in his verse. I mean, the 100-year quest is a little different now because we have these dragon gods.
Right.
But I mean, with just a little bit of his brother's flame power, who, you know, his brother is the fire dragon god, he was able to defeat the water dragon god the first try. So I still think that top 8 conversation is still relevant to Natsu. So I think with the Amaterasu, and now again, everything that comes with a Mangekyo, right? Better visual prowess, understanding of taijutsu better. I think Natsu could definitely probably take down most of the cats in his verse.
I mean, I completely agree with you. If you're able to give him access to Amaterasu, I mean, you're talking about one of the best fire users in all of anime. It's between, you know, Natsu and Shinra at this point, and you're giving him access to eternal flames. It's like,
not to imagine, we don't even know what could happen if he eats the Amaterasus he makes. Like, for example, you know, again, eating his brother's flames changed him exponentially. Who knows what would happen if he just ate Amaterasu? Mind you, Natsu has eaten other elements and has still been able to somehow power up. So I think, you know, with that boost, I don't really know what other characters could defeat him. We already know he defeated Agnolia. Of course, he had help. But again, defeating the water dragon god, his main counterpart, with just a little extra boost from his brother, like, at this point, I'm kind of thinking that, yeah, there's not many cats that could see Natsu with that type of boost.
right, completely agree.
Let's move on to the next. That's looking like Yusuke Urameshi. Oh man, it's getting dangerous now. It is getting dangerous. Uh-oh. Eternal Mangekyo with Sasuke.
Yeah.
This is serious here. We're now talking about, you know, a perfect Sharingan again. And I believe, are we just talking about Sasuke after his boost from the Sage? Or are we saying just...
Yeah, well, the Eternal is just like, it's even more powerful.
After he got Itachi's eyes.
Yeah, it's the more powerful version. It's literally Sasuke at you know, his peak alongside, I think he had a Rinnegan at the same time too, but either way though, yes, this is somebody that, you know, you have the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, you're adding that onto Yusuke. Now you're talking about Amaterasu, even greater. And remind you, Demon Yusuke is still a problem in Yu Yu Hakusho. Like, he's already
right, exactly. Right, I was just gonna say
he's
that.
already elite just off that. Give him Mangekyo Sharingan, easily soloing the verse. Easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said it, everything. I feel like Yusuke was already pretty much top 1, top 2 by the end of his series. And then now you have that extra boost. I mean, there's really not much more he needs. You know, even if you just give him a little bit of those abilities, yeah, he's going to be clearing most of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. Let's do like one more. Let's see if it's a good one.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. Let's talk about it.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm actually glad it landed on that.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm
What are
actually
the
glad
odds?
it landed on. Man. Oh, is it gonna make it? Oh,
No.
Okay. So, Naruto with the 3-tone Sharingan.
Not enough.
Let's see here. Not enough,
Not enough.
For Jigen? Not enough for Ishiki?
Not enough.
Really?
To solo his
Well,
verse. You gotta
okay,
remember.
I mean,
are we stepping into Boruto territory, or are we staying in Shippuden? Because that
well,
matters.
I mean, I would say if we say Naruto Shippuden, right, and even if we say, because again, the argument is always going on, who's stronger, Hokage Naruto or End of War Naruto, right? And, you know, regardless of whether you think Hokage Naruto is stronger or not, just because he has Baryon mode, I feel like if you are on the rooting team that Prime Naruto is after the war, then fighting a Jigen or a Shiki, I feel like he should have been doing better, should he not have been, than when Naruto and Sasuke were fighting him? Or do you think that Hokage Naruto is the one who we're saying is the strongest version?
I mean, well, wouldn't we be saying that Naruto's best form is Baryon mode? So with that in mind, that's why I'm trying to make sure if we're talking Boruto or Shippuden, because
okay. Well, let's talk Shippuden then, and then, well, I feel like the answer is simple with Shippuden, right? Because in Shippuden, Naruto pretty much was the strongest before, unless you're gonna say Kaguya, right?
well, there's Kaguya, there's the Sage of Six Paths, Hagoromo. We're saying he's soloing the verse. That's what I'm saying. We got to make sure we're all clear.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I think he could pack up already like 90% of the verse without this add-on, without the Sharingan. You give him the Sharingan, I think you could get him to like 95, 96%. But the whole verse, a full 100% complete finish, there's still character like Kaguya would like him 1v1 against Kaguya. I feel like would be an issue.
Would still lose with the 3-tone.
But like maybe if it was a Mangekyo or like a Rinnegan, maybe. But 3 Tomoe Sharingan, I don't know. I don't think it's enough. Like it's not enough.
I would say even honestly, even if you did go Boruto, and you know maybe if you excluded some of the Ishiki because they're not alive or what have you, I'm sorry, the Okutsuki because they're not alive or what have you, your biggest battle would be, can he defeat Jigen? Can he beat Ishiki with just a 3-tone and Baryon mode? And or could he just even beat the other characters that would be trying to jump him as well? And I still think the answer is no. Right.
When you get
He's still
well, I was just gonna say, when you get to that level of characters, you know, the 3 Tomoe Sharingan is child's play. Like at that point, at minimum requirement, you need Mangekyo to even contend. You know what I mean? And see the abilities that they're throwing at you, combat their genjutsus, combat their techniques, and throw Amaterasu around and have you need a Susanoo just to even, you know, push through. I mean, if Naruto had a Susanoo, then I'll be like, oh, okay, now we can work with something. This right here is just, I mean, it will be cool. Like, you know, it'll give him a little power boost, you know, but
he looked dope.
Yeah, it'll look cool, like, but it's not enough. We need Mangekyo or Rinnegan to have a conversation about him really getting the job done.
Right. No, I agree. All right, y'all. So that is us giving random anime characters different dojutsus and seeing how far they get in their verse. A couple people we thought might be able to solo. A couple people we thought would do really well, but not make it all the way. If you really liked it, you know, let us know in the comments, and we'll go ahead and drop a part 2. And with that, we'll see y'all next Sunday.
All right. Peace.